So for example 3, we have to find the distance between point D and C. So we have to do this without a coordinate plane. So we can use these rules. Okay, so if the points are in the same quadrant, you subtract. If the points are in different quadrants, you add. So we have to decide what quadrant each one is in. We said this one was in quadrant. Well, it has a negative, negative, negative x, negative y. So that's going to be in quadrant 3. This point is also negative, negative, so it's also going to be in quadrant 3. So the rule I have to follow is this rule. If the points are in the same quadrant, I need to subtract the absolute value of the values that are different. So that means either the x values or the y's. Okay, so I gotta see which ones are different. So my x's or the y's. So I have for x, I have a -1 here and a -1 there. For my y's, I have a -1/2 and a -2. So it says I need to subtract the absolute values of the numbers that are different. So my x's are the same, so I'm going to cross them out. I don't need those. I need the ones that are different. Okay, so I'm going to look at the y's. It says to subtract them. So I have a -2, but it says the absolute value. So remember, absolute value is these absolute value bars. So that means I don't want to subtract a -2. I'm going to actually subtract a +2. And then the other one, I got to subtract from a -1/2. And I have to take the absolute value of that, which is always positive. So I have to subtract 2 minus 1/2. Okay, so in order to do that, they have to have the same denominators. So on your 5-a-day, on your homework, you've been doing this. So I'm going to stack them on top of each other like this. Okay, they don't have the same denominator. One's a whole number, one's a fraction. I can take away one whole from here. So that's 2 over 2 will make them the same denominator. So that's the denominator, that's the denominator. And then that will, if I take away one whole, which 2 divided by 2 is 1, it will leave me one whole here. So I subtract 2 minus, so I subtract the numerators. So 2 minus 1 is 1. And my denominator stays the same, but I still have this 1 here. So 1 whole, take away, there's nothing here, so it stays a 1. So my answer is 1 and 1/2. So the distance, the vertical distance between point D and C would be 1 and 1/2 space away. Okay? So the only tough part was remembering how to subtract fractions. If you did not remember how to do that, then that's where you're going to struggle, because in elementary you shouldn't have learned how to subtract fractions. Okay, so let's do another practice.